Indigenous Rights Radio, because knowledge is power.
In this episode, we will summarize what we have learned about transition minerals and how mining these minerals impact the lands, territories, and resources of Indigenous peoples. Fossil fuels and other conventional energy sources release a lot of greenhouse gases, which drives climate change. Transitioning or switching to cleaner energy sources means finding alternative ways to produce energy. Transition minerals such as nickel, lithium, cobalt, and copper are marketed as essential to the development of a green, low-carbon economy. They are called transition minerals because they are used in the energy transition. But so-called clean energy technologies, from electric vehicles and battery storage to wind turbines and solar panels, require a wide range of minerals and metals, and demand for them is skyrocketing. There are large reserves of these minerals in our territories, and plans for the extraction of these minerals are already underway. In some cases, they are already being extracted. Indigenous peoples are rights holders and owners of mineral-rich lands, and they must be taken into account in the journey towards the so-called green economy. There are many examples of mining for transition minerals in areas occupied by Indigenous peoples, where Indigenous peoples were not part of the process and where Indigenous peoples' rights have been violated. Free, prior, and informed consent is of the utmost importance. Indigenous peoples need to understand which minerals are important to the green energy transition to assert their right to free, prior, and informed consent when exploration for these minerals is planned to take place on their lands and territories. Free, prior, and informed consent is the right that is specific to Indigenous peoples. It is the unique right to give or withhold consent to all projects affecting our lands, territories, resources, cultural heritage, and more. Thank you for listening to our series on transition minerals and how it affects Indigenous peoples. For more on the rights of Indigenous peoples, visit cs.org and follow Cultural Survival on Facebook, Twitter, and listen to Indigenous Rights Radio on SoundCloud and Spotify.